The Grand Prix Mechanics Charitable Trust was founded by Sir Jackie Stewart over 20 years ago and has been looking after mechanics ever since.
As the mechanics are growing older, we are experiencing more of them in need. So the Trust has, I hope, helped a lot of families already and will continue for very many years to come.
With a panel of trustees drawn from all areas of the pit lane, the Trust exists as a resource for mechanics who fall on hard times or require medical assistance.
For me, Jackie sort of helped me to have my hips replaced. I've had my hips replaced, and if it wasn't for Jackie, I might still be waiting.
There are 230 current and former mechanics on the register. The Trust holds a regular reunion, and this year it was hosted at the Williams Formula One headquarters by Patrick Head, who is also one of the trustees.
Certainly when I started, the mechanics would build the gearbox themselves and put the car together and get in the truck and drive the truck to the Grand Prix and do everything. Now it tends to be more a specialist activity with mechanics providing specialist services, you know, that are much more limited.
The people who are here today represent the finest engineering that this country's ever seen. This might be the best collection of people, of really biggest talent that the world of motorsport has ever seen.
These are the unsung heroes of motorsport in many respects, and it's great to see. I think there's the best part of 200 here today, getting together, chatting, talking about old times, and I love to hear their stories.
No, I never thought of competing myself. I always thought racing drivers were idiots. And they were in those days, of course, because it was very dangerous. It's not anymore. So it's like being an accountant now, being a Grand Prix driver. But in those days,
we're very well rewarded for being drivers, you know. But mechanics life is a hard life, and it's not as highly paid.
I mean, look around the room, and you can see that many of the guests here today are not on the first flush of youth. And as we get older, medical conditions can become an issue.
My dad was always very strong on making sure the mechanics were looked after, and I was always brought up to respect that people are working on your behalf, and it's very easy to take mechanics for granted.
They create the cars, they fix the cars, and sometimes they end up in later life needing some help.
And the purpose of the Trust is to look after the guys that looked after me and my contemporaries, certainly in the 70s and the 80s, when Formula One wasn't at the level or the scale it is at today.
Talking to some of these guys, you know, these guys who've been out of the business for longer than I've been in it, they're in a completely different situation, and that's why I think the Trust is doing such incredibly good work.
I think Sir Jackie went to great lengths a couple of years ago to really bring in the current generation of people in Grand Prix racing, and so we're a lot more engaged with it now than we perhaps were before. It was something that we knew about, but we kind of considered it was for the older guys really, but it's been demonstrated to us that it's actually important. You know, it's a rolling thing, it's an ongoing effect, and it's good for future generations as well.
There's 5 guys who are on the current race team who are all members, so that's a good, you know, it's a good start, it's a good percentage.
Do you make more money doing sculptures and being chief back at the Honda?
much more.
Much more.
And for myself and Patrick, it's just my partner, it's a real pleasure, because we've been racing, both of us, for decades, and I've just seen so many people from the past. I've got a lot to remember tonight when I put my light out. It's great times for all these guys, enormously good times, fun times for myself and Patrick. And we're delighted to be able to help make the event happen.
Been like a couple of brothers, we both said, don't take your hands off the steering wheel.
First, you must finish before you finish first. And that means a reliable car. And a reliable car is the responsibility of all of those mechanics. So any success that I achieved really was down to them. And really, every racing driver feels the same way.
In those days, things were much more friendlier than what they are today. All the teams, you know, got on really well. And it's just great to see all the old mechanics and engineers that we worked with and against, if you like, years ago.